25 beloved girls, toys from the past that you can't find anymore. Some toys didn't just fill our toy chests, they filled our memories. From tea sets to dolls that talked, we weren't just playing, we were living in tiny worlds of wonder. But today, most of those toys are gone, faded into basements, garage sales, or just forgotten. So let's dust off the memories and step back into the magical aisles of the past. These are the 50 girls' toys we loved but can barely find anymore. Welcome to Faded Into World, where we revive the treasures of time. Today, we're diving into 50 iconic girls' toys that once lit up bedrooms, birthdays, and Christmas mornings. You'll see how toys evolved from simple cloth dolls to scented figurines and craft kits. But more than that, you'll feel the childhood you left behind. Let's begin. 1950s. Classic beginnings. Close your eyes and imagine the 1950s. A time of vinyl records, pastel kitchens, and the soft hum of a black and white TV in the background. But for millions of little girls, it wasn't the television that held their attention, it was the toy box. Chatty Cathy, she wasn't just another doll. She spoke. You pulled a string in her back, and she'd respond with a sweet, mechanical voice. I love you, or please, take me with you. It was revolutionary. And for some kids, she was the first friend who ever talked back. Her long rubbery limbs could twist, bend, and snap into any shape, her spaghetti-like hair, bright, bold, and totally wild. And her outfits, you could mix and match them endlessly. She wasn't just fun, she was freedom. Miniature tea sets, little porcelain cups, tiny saucers painted with roses. They weren't just toys, they were invitations. Invitations to pretend. To host tea parties for dolls, bears, or imaginary queens. It was elegance in the hands of a child. Raggedy Ann, with button eyes, red yarn hair, and a heart stitched right onto her chest. She was soft, she was kind, and for many, she was the first doll passed down from mother to daughter. She wasn't flashy, but she was full of love. Mr. Potato Head. Before he came with a plastic body, you had to use a real potato. Kids would grab one from the kitchen, stick in plastic eyes and arms. And just like that, pure joy. It was messy, it was weird, and it was perfect. In the 1950s, toys didn't need batteries, Wi-Fi, or screens. All they needed was a child's imagination, and somehow that was more than enough. 1960s. Sweet and surprising, the 1960s were changing everything: music, fashion, families. But for little girls, the biggest surprises came in miniature boxes and colorful plastic. Easy Bake Oven. Who would have guessed that a light bulb could bake a cake? But that's exactly what it did. You mixed the batter, poured it into the tin, and waited by that warm glow. And the reward, a tiny cake that tasted like magic. Tiny Tears doll. This doll didn't just look sad, she cried. With water in her eyes and a face full of emotion, she made little girls feel like caregivers. Not just playmates, but protectors. Color forms, playsets, before screens and tablets. This was interactive play. Reusable stickers let kids dress up cartoon characters, create scenes, and then start all over again. Endless combinations, endless imagination. Barbie's dream house. It wasn't made of wood or plastic, it was cardboard. But when you unfolded it and placed Barbie inside, it felt like a mansion. This was more than a toy. Chrissy doll, you turned a knob, and her hair got longer. Twist the other way, and it shrank back in. For kids, it felt like magic, and Chrissy felt alive. The toys of the 1960s were small miracles, part technology, part wonder, and full of personality. 1970s, let's get crafty. The 1970s were all about creativity and hands-on fun. From baking your own little keychains to designing outfits, the 70s made us feel like we could be anything: artists, designers, or even ballerinas. Shrinky dinks. Draw your favorite designs on plastic, pop them in the oven, and watch them shrink into adorable charms or key. It was magic. And the best part, you could make your own jewelry or tiny toys out of the creations you designed yourself. Fashion plates. Do you dream of being a fashion designer? With fashion plates, you could snap the plates together, rub over them with colored pencils, and watch your fashion sketches come to life. It was the perfect way to design your own unique outfits and imagine the next big fashion trend. My pretty ballerina doll, wind her up and watch her dance. My pretty ballerina doll would twirl and pirouette across the floor, capturing the elegance of a real ballerina right in your living room. Every little girl could pretend to be a star of the ballet stage with her own dancing doll. Strawberry shortcake dolls. These dolls weren't just cute, they smelled sweet too, with scents like strawberries, oranges, and even blueberries. Strawberry shortcake and her friends brought fruity nostalgia to playtime, not to mention the adorable accessories and the tiny homes for each character. Every detail was designed to transport you to a magical world. Hobbie rag dolls. With their patchwork dresses and sweet faces, Hobbie dolls were the epitome of country charm. Their simple, innocent look captured the prairie-style spirit of the time, and their soft, cuddly bodies made them the perfect companions for every little girl who loved to imagine a peaceful, wholesome world. Spirograph. Create mesmerizing loops, swirls, and patterns with a spirograph set. This simple yet captivating toy combined geometry and art, letting you design intricate patterns that looked like they came straight out of a kaleidoscope. It wasn't just a toy, it was a way to bring your artistic visions to life. One swirl at a time, baby alive. This wasn't just any doll. Baby alive could eat, drink, and make real messes. She would drink from her bottle, and you'd have to take care of her, just like a real baby. It was the ultimate interactive doll that let you experience the joys of caring for a little one. Craft met creativity in the 70s, and suddenly every girl was a designer, baker, or artist. Whether it was shrinking, spinning, or sketching, the world was full of possibilities. And 1980s, the rise of collectibles. The 80s were all about collecting, styling, and showing off your toys. This was the decade that didn't just create toys, they created universes you could collect, wear, and live in. Suddenly, playtime was more about building a world around your favorite characters and treasures. My Little Pony. With their brushable manes and sparkly colors, My Little Pony became an iconic part of the 80s. Each pony had its own magical name and personality, and with the ability to style their manes, every girl could create her own fantasy world. These ponies were more than just toys. They were the stars of an entire magical universe. Polly Pocket, tiny in size, but big in imagination, Polly Pocket brought entire doll houses into the palm of your hand. The tiny dolls fit inside little cases, which opened up to reveal rooms, furniture, and even tiny accessories. It was the perfect toy for on-the-go fun, or for anyone who dreamed of creating their own miniature world. Gem and the Holograms dolls. For all the rock star dreams, Gem and the Holograms delivered glitter, glam, and neon vibes. With their flashy outfits and fabulous hair, these dolls brought the world of music and fashion to life. Gem was truly outrageous, and she proved that every girl could be a superstar in her own right. Lisa Frank stationery sets. Lisa Frank brought rainbows, dolphins, leopards, and unicorns into the world of stationery. From folders to pens to notebooks, her vibrant designs were everywhere. These colorful, magical characters sparked creativity and were the perfect way to make your school supplies a statement. Care Bears. With their colorful fur and signature belly badges, Care Bears taught us about kindness, love, and sharing. Each bear had its own personality and special power, and the plush versions brought the magical world of the Care Bears to life. They weren't just stuffed animals, they were your cuddly companions in a world of care and warmth. Popples were the perfect combination of fun and transformation. These stuffed animals could turn into balls, making them perfect for playtime, and you never knew when you'd need a cute companion or a bouncy ball to keep things exciting. Charmkins were tiny, scented figures that you could wear as jewelry, making them an accessory and a toy all in one. They were little enough to fit on your charm bracelet, but big on personality with their sweet scents and collectible appeal. Cupcake Dolls. These adorable dolls could transform in seconds. Flip their skirts, and you'd reveal a deliciously scented cupcake. Each cupcake doll was a mix of sweet fun and collectible delight. It was the 80s version of a toy you could eat. Well, almost. The 80s were all about building collections, each toy adding a piece to a bigger, glittering picture. Whether you were into magical ponies or rock star dolls, every toy was a part of a world you could own, cherish, and, of course, collect. 1990s. Glitter, gimmicks, and girl power. The 90s made toys louder, brighter, and weirder, and we couldn't get enough. This was the decade when the toys were full of magic, tech, and a little bit of sass. It was all about making every playtime more exciting, more dramatic, and definitely more glittery. Sky Dancers. Sky Dancers were the ultimate airborne toys. You'd pull the cord, and they'd spin and fly across the room, sometimes straight into a lamp or your sibling's face. With their sparkly wings and floating grace, they turned every room into a mini flight show. Tamagotchi. The Tamagotchi was the digital pet that could live, cry, and sometimes tragically die in your backpack. You were the caretaker, and if you didn't feed it, play with it, or clean up after it, well, things didn't go so well. It taught responsibility and, occasionally, the pain of a pet lost. Lisa Frank backpacks. Back to school had never been this flashy. Lisa Frank brought neon colors, glitter overload, and designs of dolphins, unicorns, and leopards to our everyday accessories. Your backpack wasn't just for books, it was a statement. Loud, colorful, and proudly 90s. Betty Spaghetti. Betty Spaghetti was back in the 90s, twistier, and even more bendy than before. With her elastic limbs and funky hair, she was the doll that allowed you to create endless wacky poses and outfits. She brought out the artist and the entertainer in every girl. Gigapets. Gigapets were Tamagotchis, American cousin, cooler, sassier, and with a personality that matched. You could play with your pet, teach it tricks, or just watch it go about its daily digital life. It was like having a virtual friend that lived right in your pocket. Polly Pocket. The Polly Pocket we knew in the 90s was better than ever, with clamshell cases opening to reveal whole miniature fantasy worlds. From magical castles to bustling cities, these little sets offered endless adventures all in your pocket. It was tiny, but it was mighty. Magic Nursery Dolls. With Magic Nursery Dolls, the mystery was part of the fun. Add water, and the baby's identity was revealed. Was it a boy? A girl? Each doll came with a surprise, making every unwrapping an exciting moment. Baby All Gone. Baby All Gone was the toy that taught you about feeding, but also a little magic. Feed her cherries, and watch them disappear as if by magic. She was the perfect doll for any girl who wanted to play more Menace the Mess. Skybird Kites with Barbie. Barbie wasn't just for playtime at home, she was ready to take flight. With Skybird Kites, Barbie soared high in the sky, sparkling in the wind. This was the 90s where everything Barbie did was glamorous, even when she was soaring on a kite. Talkboy FX Pen. The Talkboy FX Pen was every aspiring spy's dream. With the ability to record and play back messages, you could keep all your secrets safe or create your own voice recordings for fun. This pen was sleek, sneaky, and perfect for any girl with a little espionage in her heart. The 90s didn't just bring toys, they brought experiences. From digital pets to mystery dolls, from glittery backpacks to flying dolls. It was a decade where imagination went wild. Every toy was a little piece of magic, ready to be collected, played with, and treasured. 2000s. The final era of charm. In the 2000s, charm took on a whole new dimension. This was the final era of classic playtime. Before everything went digital, toys became bolder, edgier, and filled with even more drama, perfect for the girl who wanted to stand out in a crowd. Bratz Dolls. Bratz Dolls were the fashion rebels of the early 2000s, always pushing boundaries with their oversized shoes, striking, makeup, and attitude. They weren't just dolls. They were a whole lifestyle, bold, stylish, and sassy. They had a world of their own, and it was a world that was all about standing out. My Scene Dolls. My Scene was Barbie's edgier, more fashion-forward cousin, with their urban flair, trendy clothes, and a cool city vibe. These dolls brought a sense of independence and style to every playtime. Forget the country club, these girls were all about hitting the city streets. Pixel Chix. Enter the digital age with Pixel Chix. These animated pixel girls lived inside little plastic houses, and you could interact with them on a small screen. You could take them through daily activities, make them eat, shop, and live their little pixelated lives. It was like owning a miniature interactive world that fit in your hand. Trollz Dolls. Not to be confused with the classic Trollz. The Trollz dolls were all about high hair, big personalities, and a bit of friendship drama. With their wild, colorful hair and attitudes to match, they were the ultimate expression of fun and sass in doll form. They didn't just sit on a shelf, they had a story to tell. Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses Castle. For the girl who loved ballet, Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses Castle was pure magic. With an interactive dance floor that lit up and played music, it wasn't just a castle. It was a stage where Barbie and her princesses could twirl and dance to their heart's content. It brought the magic of the ballet right into your living room. Polly Pocket Quik Clik. Polly Pocket Quik Clik took the classic Polly Pocket world and made it even easier to enjoy. With magnetic clothes that snapped on in an instant, you could dress up your mini dolls in no time flat. It was quick, fun, and oh so satisfying to watch your doll go from casual to fancy with just a click. American Girl Mini Dolls. The American Girl Mini Dolls were a must-have for collectors and history buffs alike. These miniature versions of the classic American Girl characters offered the same rich backstories and historical depth in a compact size. They were perfect for display and perfect for imagination, opening the door to countless adventures. Littlest Pet Shop. Littlest Pet Shop took the toy world by storm with their big eyes, pastel colors, and tiny, adorable pets. From puppies to kittens to even birds, these little creatures lived in their own miniature worlds, filled with tiny furniture, homes, and accessories. They were the perfect tiny friends to take with you on the go. In the 2000s, it was all about toys with charm, personality, and a sense of style. Whether you were creating your own fashion line with Bratz Dolls, dancing with Barbie's princesses, or living out digital dreams with Pixel Chix, this was the final era of toys that let your imagination roam free before everything went digital. Barbie Fashion Fever line. to Bratz Rock Angels Tour Van Barbie Fashion Fever line. Barbie was always a fashion icon, but with the Fashion Fever line, she took it to a whole new level. Chic styles, posable arms, and sleek accessories made Barbie even more customizable. And with her stylish collector tubes, she was ready to strut down the runway or live her life in the spotlight. My Little Pony G3 in the 2000s. My Little Pony was reborn with the G3 reboot. Pastels, glitter, and more detail than ever before. These ponies came with accessories that made each one feel special. They were ready to gallop into playtime, their manes shining in the light as they explored magical adventures. Furriel friends. With furriel friends, pets weren't just toys. They were real-life companions. These adorable creatures barked, blinked, and felt so lifelike you'd almost forget they weren't real. From puppies to kittens, furriel friends brought cuddly companionship right into your home, making playtime more immersive than ever before. Groovy Girls Dolls. Groovy Girls brought plush to a whole new level, soft, cuddly, and ready to party. With their big hair, bold personalities, and unique outfits, they weren't just dolls. They were friends with a sense of fun and flair. Whether they were lounging around or going on adventures, these dolls brought the perfect balance of charm and style. Elo Creation System. With Elo, playtime became a building experience. Click together pieces allowed kids to design their own dolls, furniture, and dream worlds. Everything from cozy homes to stylish living rooms. It was the ultimate construction set for imaginative minds, blending creativity and play in one colorful package. Barbie Jammin' Glam Tour Bus. For the girl who dreamed of the spotlight, the Barbie Jammin' Glam Tour Bus was the ultimate accessory. Lights, music, mirrors. It was a diva's dream on wheels. With Barbie in the driver's seat, she was always ready to hit the road and show the world her glamorous lifestyle. Bratz Rock Angels Tour Van. For the ultimate Bratz experience, the Rock Angels Tour Van had it all. Convertible glam, a sleek design, and of course, the backstage drama that made the Bratz girls famous. The tour van wasn't just a ride, it was a lifestyle. Full of lights, music, and attitude, it was the perfect home on wheels for these rock stars. The 2000s was the final era of charm, filled with iconic toys that not only looked good, but were full of fun, flair, and creativity. From Barbie's runway looks to the interactive furriel friends, every toy in this era gave us something to remember and something to collect for years to come. If even one of these toys brought back a memory, then this trip was worth it. Maybe it reminded you of your old bedroom, a birthday surprise, or that one toy you never wanted to share. Toys may fade, but the moments, they stay with us. Like, comment, and share if you smiled at even one of these. And if you want more nostalgia, history, and emotion-packed storytelling, don't forget to subscribe to Faded Into World. Let's keep these memories alive, together.